pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Christine?
Here.
Snyder? Martello?
Here.
Here.
Chester Street project, Lee.
We started today part of surveying. We got from Front Street up to Third Street now. Tomorrow we'll be surveying. We also have our kickoff meeting tomorrow where we'll be talking with municipal authority, couple members from Townsville, as well as City Hall and our representative from PennDOT. Just reviewing the project, going over the schedule again, just make sure everything's in order and what we need to get done. And at this point, things are moving forward. So, if you have any questions,
Questions? Thank you very much. That was Jamie, 2014 targeted code enforcement.
All right. First of all, you do have the engineering agreement with CES up there to sign, so I can just get that tomorrow. I'm here again about the targeted code enforcement activity that we talked about doing with admin funds, CDBG admin funds. I had given you this proposal about a month ago at the meeting to review. The paperwork has been sent to DCED for their review and approval of the activity. I have not gotten an answer yet, although I don't know why they wouldn't approve it. They're just a little slow. So this evening I was wondering if you would approve going ahead with this as written, or if you wanted to make changes to it. And then when DCED gives official approval, we can get started. The first step will be to meet with the municipal authority and you guys and determine what factors we want to map and collect data on. And then we'll work with the municipal authority to create that spreadsheet so that they can then import all the data into their mapping program and create a map for us. The mayor and I and Rick and Dale visited with the municipal authority on Thursday afternoon, and they gave us a lot of really good information about what they're able to do and the way they're able to visually show things on maps. So I think it will be a very good partnership to get this data that we want to see onto a map, and then we'll all be able to see where we need to go with code enforcement.
Jamie, did the code office tell you that they didn't have any spreadsheets on any of this stuff? Is that where you
No.
got that information from?
No, what I know is that they don't have electronic information, as
They
far as I
have, they
know.
have Excel spreadsheets
Do they?
with the complaints, with the
Well, that'd
address
be
and all the
wonderful.
complaints that were made over the past several years.
Oh,
They
okay.
also have a spreadsheet of all the vacant properties in
Oh,
town.
good.
They also have a spreadsheet of all the illegal gutters in town.
Well,
So they have plenty of
Good.
spreadsheets that might be able to help you out.
that'll be great, that'll be much easier if they have that already.
Yeah, we just met with them to see how they're layered, how their whole system works and what it can do for us, and that's all that was a fact-finding thing.
So basically how this works is we decide what data we want to collect, and then my recommendation is that the city hire a temporary employee through a temp agency, a workforce agency, to actually collect that data and put it into the spreadsheet which we create with the municipal authority, and then the municipal authority takes that data and maps it for us. It's easy, I think it will be easier, and the person that we hire will be paid with CDBG funds, and I think that's the easiest way to go, because interns are a lot of management responsibility that none of us really have time to manage at this point, and it's a lot of data we're talking about collecting, so you need to be able to keep that person focused and on task, and an intern might wander off.
Did we say before how much this was going to cost?
I allocated $10,000 to it. I don't have an exact figure, but based on the information I got from
And that includes hiring the temporary employee?
yes, the information I got from one of the temp agencies was that their billable rate is $14.50 an hour. So I think it would probably be about 4 weeks worth of work. That's just a guess, I'm not sure. So just over $2,000 for a temporary employee, and then the city staff would need to could be reimbursed for any time that they put into this, and any cost the municipal authority ends up having in. So I don't know exactly what it will cost, but I did put $10,000 of admin towards it.
It shouldn't cost that much.
No, I don't think it will.
And this is in place of our code offices? No,
This is to choose an area to target for increased code enforcement using CDBG funds. So to use CDBG funds for the eligible activity of code enforcement, you have to pick a deteriorated area within your municipality and then explain why it's deteriorated and why you're going to put the money in to increase code
I just don't
enforcement.
understand what you're going to do that they haven't already done.
Has nothing to do with code office. What we're doing is creating an opportunity in a scheduled section of the city of Sunbury to address blight and be able to use the code office in the future for that specific purpose.
Just sounds like instrument, I don't know, we have a code office now.
Has nothing to do with the
Right,
code
and you do.
office. You're missing the point. The point is we need to get the money, we want to use code office money for blight. Instead of just picking a house on 3rd Street and one on 12th Street, we need to pick out an area and document. If there was 27 police calls at your house and 14 code violations, then that'll be documented. So when we pick out our area that we want to go after to fix for blight, those are the areas that we fix out. And we have never done that before, so for doing that, we need the opportunity to get some money in to pay somebody to do that.
So you'll have qualifications, like code office, code enforcement qualifications, or no?
I don't understand your question.
Will you guys have any kind of certificate from the state that says you're able to do?
I won't be doing the code enforcement. What it will be is CDB, once we get this area determined by targeting it on the map, the city can then allocate CDBG funds to help pay your code officers for their work in that area. So we would ask that they, you
So
know,
it's still
basically,
the code guys doing the
it would
work?
still be you guys. We would just be supplementing the code office's income with CDBG funds to increase the efforts in that worst deteriorated area based on the data that we collect. So we're not changing anything about how the code office operates, we're just giving you more money to do in the worst areas.
So specifically, you want a motion just to get the progress moving
Right,
forward?
once VCD gets back to me with approval, I want to be able to get going, so I just want to know if you guys were all right with it, or if you, I don't know that you actually need a motion to approve the activity already. I just didn't know if you were good with moving forward once we get that approval.
You're right, we already approved it, so I don't see unless the chance to speak against, anybody speak against it.
And anybody have an
Okay.
opportunity to mention any changes they might want to make, they're good with it.
And I think once we see exactly what we can do and can't do, that'll take us to the
It'll
next
be a
step.
work in progress.
Exactly. Okay, does anybody have audience comment on anything on the agenda specifically? Okay, under new business, what council has in front of you is just a copy of last year's levy taxes. The meeting that I missed when I was in Oklahoma City, you guys passed the first reading of the budget, and we forgot to pass the ordinance for the tax levy. So all we want to do tonight is this is exactly what was last year's, there's nothing changed on it. Again, this would be changed again for the second meeting, and we would pass them both at the same time when we pass the budget. So in front of you is a copy of ordinance session of 2013, which pretty much says it's the same rates as we had last year at this time, as on the first reading.
Do we need a motion for this?
Yep.
I can make a motion?
I'll second. Martello?
No?
Yes.
Yes.
Ister? Persing?
Yes. Bid opening tax anticipation line of credit. Michael's not here tonight, we'll go through and document these, and then pass it on the understanding that it'll be upon his review. Looks like we have 3 bids: Swineford National Bank, Northumberland National Bank, and First National Bank. These are all for, like we always do, $250,000.
For the Swineford first and what do you say?
Yes.
Swineford, Norrie, and First National. I have First National in front of me. Rate 2.59. Fixed rate. I don't see any extra bonus things on here. It looks like 2.59. That's First National. Swineford. $1.05.
Is there any, I don't need a points on that data.
Fixed.
Is that fixed?
Interest in unpaid balance, tax-free interest at 1.05 fixed for the 12-month period.
It's free money.
Government body hereby acknowledges the interest rate is based upon the tax exempt status. And again, this is why I'll have Michael review it to make sure, but I don't see anything.
Anything to say about payback on it at a certain time, or?
Interest only on the money advance, that's what we always have.
That's the money.
There's a fee, a $250 flat fee. loan origination fee, I don't believe that was in there. Yeah, I don't know what that does to 1.5% of $250,000, but there is a $250 fee. The third one is Northumberland National. And that is 1.19. 12 months. Yep, fixed. I don't see anything. Yep. To me, as long as the, that $250, I don't know what that does as far as a percentage, and well, that might look at that, but right now, the Swineford would be low, 1.5%.
Not at a 0.14%, might bring down the cheaper for Norway National, for 250 feet. I say,
Go ahead.
I think we might take a look at these and figure out the cost.
Oh, we do, I'm just,
We'll vote on it next meeting, that's why I just say we do. Have them come back with a recommendation. What do you think, Jim? Because that's gonna be close.
okay, well, for the minutes, it's 2.59 for First National, 1.50 for Swineford plus a $250 fee, 1.19 for Northumberland National, and we will turn this over to the solicitor to come back and get us exactly how much translates to, so we can vote on it at the next meeting. Oops.
Yeah. So that's not cheap for Norway National.
Approval to pay invoices, vouchers. Todd's not here. The payables report is $103,676.33 for the general fund. I'll make that in form of motion. Need a second? Chief?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Persing?
Yes.
Martello?
Yes.
Discussion, any discussion in the public?
What's happening with the buyer properties?
What about it?
The buyer properties that they are on the list
Okay.
for 10 days, have they gone in front of the,
Yeah, I just signed about 4 of them tonight at the office. I don't know if they've gone or they're scheduled to go. I thought you said there was 4 of them coming up this week. I don't know if they have, it seems like it's always groups of 4, so maybe 10 is too many at one time or something. But yeah, they're all moving forward.
Mike, you want to update us on the one on Chester Street that we just got today? Talking to the owner, the one at 225 Mark, 249 Chestnut,
245,
whatever it is.
245 Chester Street, yeah. The owner of that property has given the property to the city. She apparently met with the solicitor today. It's a property adjacent to the 3 properties that are being demoed from the fire damage. So it actually works in the advantage of the city, while the contractor's there. I believe they can use the same contract, I'm not sure how the legal aspects of that goes. But that'll clear that entire area then of the blight from the fire and the property that we obtained from the eminent domain.
Good, that'll make a nice big lot.
Yeah.
Is
Thanks,
that
Mike.
scheduled?
I'm sorry?
Demolition scheduled? Is demolition scheduled?
Demolition is scheduled for the 3 fire properties. He was in today, obtained all the permits, got his insurances and all together. He's hoping to start by the end of this week, Monday at the latest.
Wow, okay. So the goal is to try to get her tied in with it so that comes out at the same time.
Correct.
It'd be less hassle for the neighborhood and the traffic flow and everything, we get them all at the same time.
Correct. Fortunately, we can go from the back of the properties, so it won't really cause any congestion on Chestnut Street. But
Are you able to put her in touch with whoever's tearing it down? Who's tearing it down?
Destroyed it, well, there before they-
I believe the contractor's name is Kyle Rhodes from Augustiville.
Okay.
No relation. So, I'm not sure, I know it was turned over to city solicitor today.
Okay.
City solicitor was making contact with her today on the progress of the property, so I'm not sure exactly where we're at there. I haven't heard any news as of when we left this evening.
So does redevelopment authority know about this fourth one? So they all come down in one pop or not?
Yes, redevelopment authority is notified?
Well, if you look at Brian knows about it, yeah.
Correct, yep.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right, thank you. We do have some discussion, well, we have the animal control and the cats again. Kevin was fortunate enough to be able to go to the meeting they had in Northumberland we talked about. You want to talk about that at all, Kevin, or?
Yeah, got a plan over there, it's pretty involved, to be honest with you, but right now what's the holdback is they don't have a veterinarian that's gonna donate the time to fix the cats or put the cats down, you know, what need to be done with them. They have no funding to proceed with this either right now, either. The only thing I saw in that ordinance over there that would be helpful for the city is the ordinance stating that anybody caught feeding a stray cat be fined. I mean, until they get a vet on board and they get some funding to help out with this ordinance, I can't see it going anywhere.
So they're not gonna put it,
They're gonna put it in effect January 1st, hoping that they get a doctor, which they're gonna go out to Sunbury Animal Hospital and see if he would do Sunbury and Northumberland and whoever else is interested in it. Now, I know the county had a meeting, I think it's coming up next week or something, with everybody out there, and Mark Harmony out in Schmoke, they're having a meeting about it too. So, my suggestion right now for us to move forward with this cat ordinance is maybe go with something Dave's stating that if you're caught feeding a stray cat.
Yeah, I think if we just make a resolution to chapter 58, animals and fowl, just add Article 3, cats to it, and then we can put on there removal, you know, running at large prohibited, removal of fecal matter violation, also outdoor open feeding prohibited, with like maybe a $25 fine if they're caught with dishes on their front porch for stray animals, you know, that kind of a thing.
But until, you know, I mean, if they get a vet on board and they start, you know, neutering and, you know, fixing these cats, it's gonna be great. It's gonna cut the cat population down tremendously. I mean, it's gonna be mandated, and any cat's caught, they hold them for so long, they fix them, or, you know, anesthetize them, that's the word I'm looking for? And, not very good big words. And, thanks. But, it could be a good ordinance, but right now, I just can't see where the funding's gonna come forward now. I mean, they have two stages, funding and non-funding, but if there's no funding in there, you know, it's gonna fall back on whoever took the cat in or whatever, you know, to pay for it. And they're only a couple $100.
Well, nothing else, we could use their part of the feeding, the prohibited part of those sections anyway.
I think we should step forward and do something like that, Dave, yes, I do.
I'm curious to see how they, does that mean if a police officer drives by or a citizen or?
Hold on, they have it down to, their police department and their code office is the people who can make their, you know, the rest, make the fine.
Okay, well, let's look at that for the next meeting, let's at least look at that section.
neighboring communities obviously are facing, you know, the same
Everybody in this whole
challenge.
state's
I mean,
facing-
Danville is voting on theirs, I think December 16th, I read. I wish the monetary consequences were a bit higher than $25.
I just figure most of the people that are gonna get caught are probably elderly, you know, or probably don't have a lot of money.
How about if
to
you're,
give,
how about if you're elderly, then it's 25?
but- Well, everybody has to be treated the
Right.
same, unfortunately. So.
Was this addressing the issues too of people that have like maybe 10, 15 cats that they have?
This is gonna consider all cats.
Because there was an ordinance in place that you could have only so many pets to begin with.
Dogs, so many.
3 dogs.
That's dogs though,
Yeah.
yeah. but
Well, I thought that was
It's in our
with
chapter
cats.
58. No, the cats aren't listed on
Oh,
that.
so you could have 15, 20, 30 cats in your home, and, well, there needs to be something done about
I think
that
what we have to
point.
really do is
Or
stop
to
the
identify
dogs.
what's stray cats and what aren't, is to be more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, what about the licensing aspect
That's,
of
the
there?
licensing aspect's included in that.
Okay.
It'd be done in the.
Because that's a monetary,
Right, and that's where they were gonna try to talk to the county, so, you know, if you go by your dog tags with the county, you're also gonna buy a cat tag too. So, and then they wanted an every 3-year thing, so you couldn't rotate it from cat to cat. But basically, it should be like a dog, you know, you're doing it every year for your cat, your dog, you should do it every year for your cat.
Most of the time, you know, a lot of times they're putting tattoos on the animals now.
But if you go and you go, yes, exactly, if you go with that marking, Joe, then that's just a one-time fee because that's the everlasting mark, or the transmitter they put in, they put transmitters in, so because you can't make it go up.
Or chipping.
Yeah, chicken.
It seems like most municipalities include all animals rather than, Sunbury's just explicitly states dogs. I mean,
We also
Danville,
have horse and fowl.
Well, pigs,
Can't have farm animals.
you can't have farm animals, but no, really, when you come down basically trying to write this is all new territory for anybody across the state, as far as I know. Because nobody ever tried to control a cat, because they don't allow this thing, so. But I think we should come up next Monday, I think we should have some other piece, doing something about.
Use the outdoor feeding,
Yeah.
look at these things.
Look, that was helpful for you.
yeah, I think the licensing as well.
Yeah, it's all coming, I think we should adopt that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
A few years back, Five Star, which is a school for children at the Fifth Ward there in the Fort Augusta School, did a project for feral cats. And they trapped, spayed, neutered, and gave the rabies of 200 cats. That was an article that was in the Daily Item in 2010. So if some agency or some school or something like that would take it upon themselves to do that as a project, that could be an avenue as well.
Julie, we did that ourselves here in the city. We left them use our city barn, and we did hundreds of cats. That was probably about 2 years ago. But the vet that was doing that was the one that died in the car accident. So now they're lost without a vet. But yeah, we did that. We donated the whole building down there, come and do it, please. And they did hundreds of cats down there today.
With those kids?
No, it might have been the kids, yeah. Might have even been the kids.
Yeah, because the article was October 13th, 2010.
Yep, that's about the right time, yeah.
Did kids catch the cats? Is that what the kids were doing?
No, people were bringing them all in from all over. I mean, there was neighbors bringing them in, there was people bringing them in.
They set up an avenue to have the trapping, and the kids worked a project that they would have the money to do so.
They did, I bet you they did over 200 cats down there. They had a lot of cats down there. And then they did a little clip out of their ear so they know
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
they need that cat.
And the kittens, they tried to find homes, and the older ones that wouldn't, have any association with humans were taken back to their old neighborhoods.
That's what they did, yep. I think it might have been the same project.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
That was Tina Campbell, who collected the cats. Tina Campbell.
Right.
She's the one that helped trap the cats.
Oh, okay. Is that, I don't know what 5 Star, is that organization, or is that group still together?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
It's still there.
And
It's,
Tina's with that group?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is better.
Okay.
it's
Discussion?
children that have behavioral problems.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We have a problem at Center and Woodlawn Avenue. A truck took out the stop sign, and the people are not stopping any longer because there's no stop sign there.
Take care of that first thing tomorrow, man.
Okay.
Senator Woodlawn,
Yeah.
did you call City Barn on that or not?
Mike was going to, and he forgot to do that, so he said, you tell him it's city council. So I'm doing it.
Thank you. Senator Woodlawn.
Well, yeah, and they keep propping it up, but then another truck comes down. The trucks that go down that alley are just too big, and they just take out that stop sign.
Thank you for letting us know, we would never fixed it. The chief was just telling me today, he thought we were missing a stop sign somewhere, but we didn't know where it was.
Well, it doesn't matter because they don't stop coming the other way.
Amen.
We'll put a new sign up for you. Any other discussion?
Question for you. What is going on with Brass Key Building? Anything? Because that was burned out, what?
The last thing that I know, Mike, have they moved on that
Yes,
plan
sir.
that they turned in?
Yes, so the project was just approved by our third party. Construction's supposed to be starting on the building here very shortly. Contractors will work their bids.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what you're asking. Any discussion? On the list, we have some board appointments. Now, we're not going to appoint these until January, but I just want to go through them. The Civil Service, Ted Andelevich is up, that's a 3-year term. Housing Authority, Mike Hogan's up, a 5-year term. HARB, Dan Strasser and Cindy Incroder up, 4-year terms. Zoning Hearing Board, Jesse Woodring and Gene Eckrod, 3-year terms. Board of Appeals, Todd Raybuck, Preston Ross, 3-year terms. Municipal Authority, Norm Coke and Tom McBrien, 5-year terms. Recreation Board, Ron Pratt, 4-year term. Mindy Huffman, Linda Hare, Jenna Eister, and there's a vacancy, they're all 1-year terms. So if council or anybody here is interested in anything, get a hold of Terry downstairs, get your name on a list, and we're always looking for volunteers, and they're all important parts of the city of Sunbury. I want to make 2 announcements. One, that the next Monday, yes, next Monday budget meeting at 6 o'clock, and the Santa Parade will be the 29th at 6:30. I don't know if we're going to have snow, sleet, rain, or I'm not sure what it is, the way you listen to the weather, but we're all invited to come out to the park and welcome Santa to town and kick off the holiday season. Anything else? Thank everybody for coming. This meeting's adjourned.